This video will deal with a rather important subject that is not necessarily linked to the software of the techniques of sculpting a character, but I'm pretty sure from my own experience that it will give you many tools and will help you to work more fluently. Okay, let's talk in this video about the importance of a correct folder structure. For those who don't know what a folder structure is, it is basically a set of folders that are inside each other and that allow us to save a specific file in each folder. This will allow us to have the tools that we'll need throughout the project in an organized way. This will help us to find everything easier. Depending on the structure and the complexity of the project, the structure will become bigger. A classic example is that big companies have huge folder structures. I mean, those are really big folders. This is because, as you will discover, Digital Sculptor is just one of the processes that are used to make world-class films or expensive films. There are other extra processes, and each process must carry its own folder structure. It is also very important to know that folder structures have specific and very clear names, so the artist can find his files easily and in a simple way. However, for this case, and since the project is not going to be so big, and we'll only focus on Digital Sculptor, we are going to use a small structure for this project. This is the structure that I propose that consists only in 6 folders. As a main folder, we will have this folder called root, which is the one that will contain all our project and everything that we are going to use in it. This root folder, depending on the project, has a different nomenclature or a very specific name, but just for this case we can simply use the name of our character, which will be Chop. Inside this folder, we will have 3 more folders which I consider of vital importance, that be able to access them quickly or in an easy way. The first of these 3 folders will be editables, which will contain all the files that ZBrush will generate, either .ctool, .ZBrush, or any type of editable that we are going to use. In the supplies folder, we will have all the images and all the resources that we will use to create our sculpture. Later we will look at that further. The last one is the folder render. This folder will have all the processed images or the final images that we generate after finish our project in ZBrush. As you can see, these are the 3 folders that I consider are important to have on hand. However, it is the decision of each artist. For now, this is my proposal for you. If we enter in the supplies folder, which, as I said earlier, will have all the tools we will need to create our project, we will find 2 subfolders. The first one is for references, which will be the images that we are going to use as references or inspiration to give details to our character or to give them unique features. We also have the folder textures. It also has images, however those are images that we will use when working on our project. For example, at the time we are sculpting or painting, we can use images or photographs that we are going to use or paint on our model, or maybe use for different processes. As you can see, the folder structure is very light and simple, and I hope this will help you to optimize your work. Before finalize this video, I want to give you an extra tip that will probably help you in a future projects. Although it is important that all these files are in a single folder to have an organized form of work, ZBrush editable ones have a small drawback that not all the softwares have. ZBrush is one of the few programs that doesn't give a thumbnail or a project preview. What does this mean? There is no icon or image that shows us in which process we were going. Luckily for us, ZBrush has a panel that we can simply deploy with the comma key. In this panel, we will have different files like .ctool or .ZBrush, which we can use to generate our projects. For now, we are going to enter to the Project tab. As you can see, at this moment, we have a preview of the project, what is his progress and what stage it is. To solve the thumbnail problem of ZBrush, we will do the following. Please go to the folder where ZBrush is installed, that is in local disk C. Then click on Pixologic, then in our version of ZBrush and enter in Z project folder. Here we will find a list of files and folders which we already saw in ZBrush. What we can do is create a new folder called Editable Chop, and once created, make a shortcut, cut it and paste it into the root folder of the folder structure. So delete the folder Editable that we already have and replace it with the newly created shortcut. I mean, Editable Chop. Later, it will be important that the files that we generate in that folder of ZBrush return them back to the root folder to deliver our finished project. However, this is quite useful for now since it allows to visualize here, inside this folder, since we are in the basic folder of ZBrush, that is the one that ZBrush has by default, we will start to save all our editable files, and we will see the folder will appear here. We are going to return by pressing this button here, and then we will return again to see that the Editable Chop folder is created. Now it does not have anything, but when we begin to fill it with our files, we will start to see the thumbnails or the visualizations of our characters and our projects. I really recommend you that do not underestimate the importance of a good folder structure, because as you can see, it will help us to speed up our work. This is everything for now, and we will see you in the next video.